Basketball is a team sport. It's a 5-on-5 game. Always has been, always will be. But there's also always been that underlying tone of me versus you, mano a mano, who wins this 1-versus-1 matchup. But the problem with that is when it's time to see who won the matchup, most people only look at the scoring column on the stat sheet. Not the assists, not the steals, not the rebounds, which are extremely important stats. And also player roles aren't really considered either. If we're playing a game and you're a scorer and I'm a defender, who scores the most points this game isn't going to determine who won the matchup. Let's say you average 28 points per game on 19-20 shots, and tonight when we play you score 29 points on 29 shots. Who won that matchup? As a defender, I might only have 8 points, maybe 4 assists, but my job was to slow you down, and I did that. So I feel like in that situation the defender will win the matchup. Now I'm looking at Gil's Arena, and their example was one player has 35 points, the other player has 0 points and 20 assists. Who wins the matchup? Now I feel like whoever has the biggest impact on actually winning the game is the person who won the matchup, but most people don't look at it that way. A lot of people will say, all right, well, if I had 25 points and you had 15, but your team won, I still won the matchup, and I feel good about myself after tonight. And I think that's the problem with a lot of things. Like I said in the beginning, basketball is still a 5-on-5 sport. How much does that individual matchup actually matter? Are you playing for your own personal stats to feel good, or are you playing so that your team wins the game? And I feel like not enough people play for the latter. A lot of people play for that piece of paper that gets printed out after the game at the scores table, so they can run over, look at their number, look at the person who's guarding them. If their number in that points column is a little bit higher, they can sleep at night regardless of what the final score says. And if you look at the culture of basketball today, especially with younger players and the generations coming up, it's a lot of players that are out there going for personal stats as opposed to team wins. And that mindset can create a lot of great players, but it also creates a lot of losers, a lot of people who are okay with losing. Because sometimes if you're playing just to win, the box score doesn't look that great, especially if you're not the superstar. You'll just go out there and figure out how you can do anything to help the team win. That might mean only creating shots for the person with the hot hand. That might mean only playing defense. But if you're worried about what the box score says as far as individual matchup as opposed to what needs to happen in order for us to win this particular game today, you're setting yourself up for failure.